Hey Health Heroes, welcome back to Adamimmune, the channel about helping you improve your autoimmune health naturally. And I just got out of the shower and I was thinking about this. I just went to the dog park with my girlfriend Vanessa, and we took her little dog there, Popeye, little cute thing, and guess who happened to be there? My dad, right? He was there with his dog Oreo, him and my sister's little dog. And we got to talking, and my dad's a preacher, right? So he always goes to the topic of religion, spirituality, and all that. And actually, I kind of like that. I like the deep thinking and all that stuff. Well, we got to this point about talking about listening, and of course from his perspective, listening to the Spirit, listening to God, not always talking, but listening, right? And I think that's important for almost just everything and everyone, right? Just to be able to be still. And from what he was talking about, hearing the voice of God, or just knowing what you're supposed to do. And you could take this any way you like. If you're in a meditation, you could just being still and listening to the universe, or listening to God or your creator, or whatever you believe in, right? I think that's important for everybody, right? And you can take that any way you like, and I do believe that in the way he was meaning it. But to me, it got me thinking about listening to our bodies, really being in tune with our bodies. And I mentioned that. And, it's like he always tugs the religion and I tug back health. And somewhere we meet in the middle and we have good conversations. But I said how I brought this point up where we need to also be still and listen to our bodies so we hear our symptoms. And then I said, and I think I've shared this on the channel before, about there was this woman, I wish I could remember her name, I'm sorry, if you know in the comments, or if that was you, leave it in the comments below. But there was this woman that pointed out to me, I'm not even sure if it was directly to me or in a conversation that I read or on a thread somewhere, but she was like, these symptoms are not our enemies, that they are messengers from heaven letting us know that there's an issue going on, right? Basically, these are messengers from God, okay? Messengers from heaven. I think that's how she put it. And I really like that. That spoke to me. And I told my dad, and my girlfriend Vanessa was there, and she was listening. And she's also, we all go to church, we're all Pentecostal, and they're very in tune spiritually, I believe, right? And I would say I have heard it my entire life, and I practiced. I'm not as in tune, I guess you could say. That's probably what most people would tell you, that I'm just not quite there yet, okay? I'm somewhere in the middle, I guess. Anyway, we'll talk more about that in the future. But anyway, I said that was an awakening for me when I heard that, just in the way that these symptoms are not our enemy, right? These symptoms are... I'm grateful for my symptoms. They let me know what's going on, where I'm having issues at, where I need to make changes in my life, where I need to be proactive and actually do something, right? There's a part of people that want to just pray and ask God and everything, and I've done that. And then there's the other part where you're you do something about it, you prove your faith, right? As they said in the Bible. I'm sorry if you guys aren't into that spirituality or religion or Christianity or anything like that. Hopefully you can connect with this in some way. You can relate, or at least empathize with me a little bit from where I come from. This is my upbringing, right? This is how I was nurtured. So this is deeply ingrained in me. So I thought, yeah, these symptoms aren't my enemy. And my dad, he has a different way. It just got me thinking. He said, yeah, he just doesn't believe that. He doesn't like that way of thinking. He doesn't believe that the symptoms are messengers from heaven. He believes, this is what really, listen to this. This really shook me to my core. This made me think. He said he just would rather, instead of hearing symptoms and doing something about it like that, he would rather that something just happen, you have a seizure or whatever, or something you need to go to the hospital, and they just take care of it. He would rather a medical problem arise so bad that you have to go to the hospital, and then they have to figure it out and tell you what's wrong and prescribe you a pill or give you a surgery or whatever to fix it. There's some of you that will understand where I'm coming from here on both sides of this, and some of you that maybe you're new here and you don't really know me all that well. But to me, like, food is medicine, and I believe in being a health hero. That's why I call you guys health heroes at the beginning of every video, because I believe it takes a true health hero to heal. And I believe in being proactive about our healing journeys, right? Our very personal, customizable healing journeys. Well, so this is like, that's like opposite thinking, what he said of that's not, to me, that's being, well, you want to be a victim so someone else takes care of it. I get where truthfully, I don't understand where he's coming from, but I want to. And I guess that's why I turned on the camera today, to just kind of figure this out. Like, where is he coming from when he says that? Like, his passions are not health. I think that's where it lies. Like, I think for those of us that are true health heroes, maybe we have a healthy obsession. I know I have a healthy obsession. I'm obsessed with health and healing, okay? Because I've been through so much pain and the hell of my before time when I was chronically diseased with a horrible skin disease, the third most painful chronic disease that exists, so that we know of. So of course that's what drove me. That's where my passions lie. I wanted to become who I needed at my darkest times, and for him, what he needed was someone to help him spiritually and tell him the word of God and to help, move him in a spiritual direction closer to God, right? And I think that's who he has become. He's been through so many hardships too. I'll share those in the future too, but I mean, he hasn't had an easy life. Okay, so he is a hero in his own in his own way, right? So it's just, sometimes these things don't cross barriers. Like, you could be a hero in one area of your life and maybe not another. Like a hero to children, but then you completely unprioritize your own health. And you guys know, those of you that know me, I prioritize my health like above most things, right? Like, I believe we have to take care of ourselves and we have to heal so we can help others, right? But it's like when you're on an airplane, you got to put on your mask first to breathe before you can help other people, right? I really believe that. So that really shook me to my core. It really did. I thought, if this man who I trust in and I believe is a very reasonable, logical being, he's very intelligent, but that's the way he thinks about it. And, this was sort of on a whim. I don't want to exaggerate this, but, maybe if we were to talk this out and, see things differently. But I brought up the point about, I see he disagreed with my thinking about the messengers, the symptoms being messengers. And I disagree with him about, trusting. Basically, for what he has to say, for him to believe that, he has to trust in the medical care system and nurses and doctors to know what's best for you over us, right? So he puts his faith in them. I put my faith in God, and I know he does as well, but I put my faith in knowing myself, right? In myself. I believe it is my responsibility. Okay, so I guess he would think maybe it's not his responsibility. He believes he just wants them to take care of it, right? If something happens, and he wants something to happen so they do take care of it, which is interesting. It's almost a proactive. It's unproactively proactive in the way that you want something to happen. It's very. I guess I don't know. I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this. Leave it in the comments below. But I just cannot. I can't get with that belief system, I guess. I would hope that you guys know that you need to share a certain level of proactivity when it comes to your own health. You need to have a little bit of responsibility for your own health. Now, this man is 71 years old. He's not in terrible health at all. He's got great genetics as far as how he's done with his diet over the years. Doesn't have a lot of health issues. Doesn't take too many, like most people on average would take a lot of pills. But anyway, what I said to him was this, that medical errors are the third leading cause of death in the United States. And so when you put your trust in them, well, maybe you shouldn't put your trust in them. Okay? Put that much trust, And that's all I said. I don't want to fight with anybody, and I think, like he said today, we can disagree agreeably. I think we all should come together with our differences of opinion and be able to discuss them in a agreeable manner, in a very not so aggressive way. And I think that's not the usual for today. I think people like to argue, and well, if you're wrong, then you're just the devil. You just are evil because you have a different opinion. And I choose not to believe that. I choose not to see things that way. And obviously this isn't a huge disagreement. This wasn't political or anything, right? Which I hope to never talk about on this channel ever. Yeah. Alright. I hope you guys got something from this. I feel a little bit better just talking it out, ranting. This is therapy for me. And hopefully this was helpful. And if you did find it helpful, maybe drop a like, smash that subscribe button if you haven't before, share it with somebody else that you maybe think will find this helpful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.